Hey, Adirondack Club family and friends, it's Colin bringing you your Coach's Corner. This week, we're going to talk about how strong is too strong. So this is a question we do get asked from parents and athletes, why we may not chase certain numbers in the weight room, or how strong does my athlete need to get? And there is an upper limit of where we want to take our athletes. When we're looking at programming our athletes, if we want to make them power lifters, then we want to and really focus on max deadlift, max bench press, max um, squat. We'd have to spend a lot of time with some of these athletes focusing on that trait, and that may not necessarily transfer to on-field performance. And that's the goal with training. When you step on the field, there's very few people who are going to ask you how much you squat when you're lining up across from them. Your opponent doesn't care. It's all about you jumping higher than them, running faster than them, being more athletic than them, being more powerful. Okay, but there are some standards that we do try to follow with our athletes. Like, we do want to see 1 to 1.5 times your body weight in a front squat for males. For females, it's about 1 times their body weight. This is good, strong. This is someone who's trained for quite a bit, probably like 4 to 6 months to get to some of these levels. For the bench press, double dumbbell bench press, we like to see 1 times their body weight in males, and females 0.7. For the deadlift, it's about 2.25 pounds for a trap bar deadlift, and for females, we're about 1.5 to 1.75 for a good, strong, trained female athlete. And that's someone who's been training for a while consistently. But the key, really, when we're focused on the strength, we do the strength because you need to get stronger. And we kind of joke about it. Some of our athletes who come in who've got nagging injuries, or maybe have really good skill set, but just can't perform well on the field. And we could say it's a bad case of weakness. They're just not strong enough. And that impacts your conditioning and your ability to compete on field, and a lot of times an injury. So when you lift weights and you're working through these range of motions, you become more flexible and move better than maybe someone who's not doing any of this stuff, who's just showing up and running out there and playing soccer. The other key component to this is that strength training is going to help work on your power production. All right. And we spend a lot of time on that, doing full speed sprints over various distances, vertical jumping, and cleans. All that power work and medicine ball and jumps and stuff like that, all that power work is to make it so we push your maximum threshold of how much power you could produce in 1 rep. And that brings up that makes everything else more sub power production. So when you go and run and sprint, it's not working at maybe your highest speeds, and we're pushing all those skills down, so you don't need to use as much of your resources in order to perform certain feats. And we find that our athletes who go and have to do some pretty crazy conditioning stuff, we won't do a whole lot of conditioning with them. We'll do some, but they perform much, much better because they're more powerful, they're stronger, and with the strength, they makes you just more efficient mover. Your nervous system's more efficient, your physiology is more efficient. So it's really important. You can see some in runners, you can actually increase your running economy up to 25% by just adding a few days of strength training. So that's getting rid of like maybe 1 or 2 days of running and just getting in the weight room. So it's really, strength is really important to a point, because we don't want to be chasing numbers that impacts all these other skills that we need to work on. Now, there's times to go and do that. If we've got a few athletes who do compete or who want to compete in some Olympic lifting stuff and some strength stuff. So if there's some cool stuff that they can do if they focus on it, but it is going to impact other things we're working on. So there you go. That's a little kind of background on how strong is too strong, and how we think about strength training. If your athlete needs help, let us know. We'd love to help them. Reach out to me. We'll set them up with an assessment, and we'll get them going. So we look forward to see you soon.